as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA,
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I mean, I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah, right? I can't really play the audio because of copyright. Justin Bieber singing. Diddy just rips it. And then he starts singing one of Bieber's songs, like, I didn't mean to let you down. Is okay, whatever. But I mean, look at this again. Look, just snags it. Bieber's like, okay. You also got French Montana here, like...
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't
It was
bad.
hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, you know, telling me they love me and, you know, just turn their back on you in a second.
Y'all, things just went off the rails in court. Diddy completely lost his cool after the attorney dropped a bombshell, an explosive video featuring none other than Justin Bieber. The courtroom was in shock, and Diddy's reaction? Let's just say it wasn't pretty. Last year, when Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy came to light, it set off a wave of shocking revelations about him, including some involving Justin Bieber. At first, people brushed off the claims about Bieber's experiences with Diddy, thinking they were exaggerated. But now, new details are making people take a second look, and it's becoming harder to ignore the red flags. So what's in this mysterious footage that had him spiraling? And why is Bieber's name suddenly back in the mix? Stick around, because this is about to get wild.
18 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no. He could buy you one also while you're
You
out.
got me a Lamborghini. It's,
Oh,
I just
well, that's
haven't-
nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Yeah, living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff of my past, and I wasn't able to move.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
I think somebody needs to save that boy. He's strong, because with the memories that he has, it's an option. He's strong. Him and Jaden. I can't even get to talking about the babies.
Diddy's shady reputation isn't exactly a secret, but without solid proof, it's easy to dismiss the rumors. Now Justin Bieber is opening up about how Diddy's influence affected both him and Usher. Justin once saw Usher as a mentor who helped him navigate the industry, but now people are wondering, did Usher go through the same kind of treatment Justin did under Diddy? Diddy's extravagant parties and industry connections have only strengthened his power and wealth over the years. And with all that money, he seems to think he's untouchable, acting like the rules don't apply to him.
as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, come get the front shot of this.
Man.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older,
Justin's rise to fame wasn't all glitz and glamour. He faced countless struggles, especially at the height of his career. He was caught up in controversy after controversy, dealing with toxic relationships, and even admitting to substance overuse, saying it nearly consumed him. His struggles were no secret, but now fans are questioning if Diddy had a hand in all of it. Many believe Diddy's influence during Justin's teenage years may have played a role in his downward spiral, possibly leaving emotional scars that still affect him today.
What's going on with you guys? Are you working together?
I'm not. I think that we've become friends in a strange way, you know.
Like Robin Big.
Yeah, it's like exactly.
I'm big and you're Robin.
Yeah. I mean, to a lot of us, he's like a little brother. You know what I'm saying? He's not afraid to call and ask for advice. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the greatest kids that you could ever know.
Justin, maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're
He
out.
got me a Lamborghini.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last time.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Some things, everything ain't for everybody.
Like Usher, Justin Bieber started his career at a young age, navigating the highs and lows of Hollywood. But behind the glitz and glamour, there have always been dark stories about powerful figures taking advantage of young talent. Diddy in particular has been accused of grooming, with disturbing claims suggesting that he pressured up-and-coming artists into uncomfortable and unprofessional situations to satisfy his own desires.
Did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was stupid. Listen,
having a good time, yo. Oh, your Usher made it in the... Hey, yo.
Another layer to the controversy is the long-running speculation about Diddy's gender identity, something that many artists have openly talked about. But at the end of the day, his personal identity isn't the issue. What really matters are the claims that he used his power, money, and influence to manipulate and exploit people, regardless of gender. As more conversations about his behavior continue, the focus is shifting to whether these allegations are just rumors or if they point to a much bigger problem. And before diving into how Diddy may have influenced Justin, it's important to look at his history with Usher, because that connection might reveal a lot about the way Diddy operates in the industry.
So here they are, right? I can't really play the audio because of copyright. Justin Bieber singing. Diddy just rips it. And then he starts singing one of Bieber's songs, like, I didn't mean to let you down. Okay, whatever. But I mean, look at this again. Look, just snags it. Bieber's like, okay. You also got French Montana here, like hugging him or whatever. People are saying the way he and French Montana hugged up, he was reminding him, I got power over you. Who see that hand reach in his pocket?
When these claims first started making headlines, they immediately caught the public's attention. One of the biggest talking points was Usher's time with Diddy, something that raised eyebrows even years later. L.A. Reid had sent Usher to Diddy's so-called Puffy Flavor Camp, and when Usher was asked about the experience in a 2016 interview, his careful and reserved answers only fueled more speculation. He said that he had seen a lot during that time and described the experience as intense and chaotic. According to him, Diddy treated him like a little brother and even gave him the nickname Baby Boo. Usher explained that Diddy wasn't strict and basically let him do whatever he wanted, which exposed him to a world he had never seen before. But looking back, he wasn't sure if he fully understood or agreed with everything he witnessed, calling it a wild experience.
What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody.
The footage revealed some unsettling moments. Diddy showed off his expensive cars to Justin, and even promised to gift him one when he turned 16. At first, it seemed like an exciting offer, but looking back, it feels more like a way to lure a young, impressionable Justin into his world. And it didn't stop there. Diddy also offered him a house, which sounds like a dream for any teenager. But with Diddy, nothing comes without strings attached. While it's true that connections are important in the music industry, more and more people, especially in the rap scene, are starting to realize the cost of being associated with Diddy. They're beginning to see that selling out their integrity for fame under his wing just isn't worth it. One of the strangest things Diddy ever said was that he had legal guardianship over Usher for a year while they were living together. He made this claim on Justin's blog, which raised a lot of eyebrows. Why was he suddenly on the defensive? Maybe he was already anticipating accusations about his behavior with young male artists. And why was there so much secrecy about what went on during that time? What exactly was a grown man doing living with a teenage boy? Justin has been open about his struggles with substance overuse, and many believe that Diddy's influence may have played a role in that. Remember the stories about Usher being seen drinking in bars with Diddy before he was even old enough? Diddy reportedly pressured him into doing things he shouldn't have. And while there have been wild rumors about them sharing a bed, the truth is more complicated. There's a real possibility that Usher didn't even realize at the time that Diddy was grooming him.
Nothing like fellowshipping, you know? So we see each other around, but we don't get it. Usher, how you been, man? I've been seeing you so long.
How much did we drink?
My forehead is sweating like Uncle Leroy at the dinner table.
It's hot as hell.
It ain't that hot.
Much more sauce?
After being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We would fight.
In the beginning, Justin leaned on Usher for support in the industry, but now it makes people wonder, was Usher unknowingly exposing Justin to the same treatment he once went through with Diddy? It's possible that Diddy used Usher as a way to get closer to Justin. Fans who have followed Justin's career know that he started off on a promising path, but over time, things took a darker turn. His fame and fortune gave him everything he ever wanted, but they also had major impact on his choices, behavior, and mental health. In recent years, Justin has spoken openly about his struggles, adding another layer to his complicated journey. At one point, he reflected on it all, saying that, like many people, he had made mistakes and was now working through deep-rooted issues to keep himself from falling apart.
You said Justin Bieber, and I have to ask you because there's a picture circulating online where they show
He's
Justin.
the new Tevin Campbell.
Yeah, they show him crying. You're almost giving him a gateway to speak his truth of what happened to.
I wish Tevin Campbell would speak to him or for him. Because the same thing that they did to him, they're doing to Bieber right now. And I have evidence. That poor kid. And all because he got discovered by Usher. And then Usher took him right over there to the diddler. And let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
Justin's struggles today might have deeper roots in his past interactions with Diddy. As mentioned before, Diddy loves to present himself as a carefree playboy, always jumping from one relationship to another. But behind that flashy image, there's a disturbing pattern. He has a history of taking advantage of young artists. Despite being investigated by the FBI, he has somehow always managed to avoid any real consequences and continue living life on his terms. Even his former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has exposed him multiple times, calling him out for his involvement with other men, and even hinting at possible ties to the demise of legendary rappers like Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. While there's no solid proof to back these claims, the fact that Diddy's name keeps coming up in serious accusations is enough to make people question just how deep his connections to crime really go. Diddy also has a habit of making people uncomfortable, whether it's in interviews or behind closed doors. He has offended plenty of people, and those who have worked closely with him, like Gene Deal, know way more than they let on. This isn't just about damaging his reputation. There's a reason these conversations keep happening. The fact that people are still talking about these allegations after all these years suggests there's at least some truth to them, or at the very least, something shady going on that hasn't been fully exposed yet. Jaguar Wright's interview with Storm Monroe only added more fuel to the fire, bringing up disturbing footage involving Justin Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz. Some brushed it off as nothing more than wild partying and substance use, but Wright suggested that something much darker was at play, possibly coercion and exploitation. If that's true, it raises even bigger questions about how young artists are really treated in the industry and just how much power these big names have to cover up the truth.
Seminal fluid that Justin Bieber was wiping away from his mouth when he brought his face up from Odell Beckham's groin in a club with Trey Songz on the lookout.
The images are there.
Diddy-fied. Hashtag no Diddy.
Hashtag no Diddy.
Jaguar Wright's claims about Justin Bieber's past paint a troubling picture, suggesting he may have been manipulated by powerful figures like Diddy and Trey Songz. She even alleged that Songz acted as a lookout, which, if true, means they were actively trying to hide something much worse. Wright also pointed out how Bieber's relationship with Diddy was far from healthy. One of the biggest red flags was when Diddy gave Justin a Lamborghini right after he got his driver's license. At first, it seemed like a generous gift, but looking back, it feels more like part of a pattern. Diddy using expensive presents to gain influence over young artists while disguising it as mentorship.
Let's slow down, Josh.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay.
Bieber's story is a perfect example of how different a celebrity's public image can be from their real-life struggles. To the world, he was a polished pop star living the dream, but behind the scenes, he was dealing with personal battles that few people knew about. While Diddy isn't the only reason Bieber faced challenges, his influence is part of a bigger issue: how young artists in the entertainment industry are often taken advantage of, especially when they're still figuring things out. His journey is a harsh reminder of how vulnerable young stars can be. From the pressure of fame to the people around him, Bieber's experiences show why more protection is needed for artists in the industry. And it wasn't just Diddy. Bieber faced scrutiny from all sides, including other celebrities, interviewers, and even talk show hosts. Take Ellen DeGeneres, for example. Known for her friendly personality, she still contributed to the objectification Bieber dealt with. She once put a paparazzi photo of him on display during her show and asked personal questions, proving just how common it is for young celebrities to have their private lives turned into entertainment for the public.
Feeding you grapes there, and well, that's a selfie, and then there's that.
When Justin was just 16, he had an interview with James Corden at the 2011 Brit Awards, and something about the interaction seemed off. His behavior was noticeably different, almost like he was uncomfortable but trying to play it cool.
How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad. Yeah. Wow, look at your eyes. What music you listen?
Fast forward a year to the 2012 Academy Awards, and Justin found himself in another awkward situation, this time with Jenny McCarthy. She was 40, he was only 18, and the way she acted toward him was definitely questionable. Justin even had to physically pull away from her, and when he got up to give his acceptance speech, he made it clear how uncomfortable he was, saying he felt violated. Katy Perry, expressing her genuine admiration for Justin. Justin has faced a lot of challenges throughout his career, and the fact that he made it through so much is honestly incredible. What's even more surprising is that the people who were supposed to guide and protect him, like Usher and Diddy, seem to do the exact opposite. Justin was only 13 when he moved to Atlanta, and that's when Usher and Scooter Braun entered his life. To his mom, Patty Millette, they seemed like the mentors she had been praying for, people who could help her son navigate the industry in a positive way. But as time went on, it became clear that they weren't exactly the influences she had hoped for. Usher took Justin under his wing and even brought in his friend, Ryan Good, to be Justin's swagger coach and road manager. Looking back, Patty believes that was the moment she started losing control over her son's life. When Usher introduced Justin Bieber to Diddy, it was a turning point in Justin's life, though not necessarily a good one. Many believe Diddy wasted no time pulling Justin into his circle, just like he allegedly did with Usher years before. What makes this even more unsettling is that Diddy once claimed to have legal guardianship over Usher when Usher was working on his first album, raising serious questions about his influence.
Bad boy. Oh, he's bad boy now.
Here's your icon alert. It's called He's Bad Boy Now. It's called Don't Ever Play Yourself.
Moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to something
City.
called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called.
Usher himself has hinted that his time with Diddy at the infamous Puffy Flavor Camp exposed him to things he probably shouldn't have seen at such a young age. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has even suggested that what Usher went through was far worse than people realize, possibly even similar to what Cassie allegedly endured with Diddy. Deal went as far as saying Usher may have ended up in the hospital because of it, which, if true, adds a whole new level of darkness to the story. But it gets even weirder. Deal also claimed that Diddy was the leader of some kind of secret group, and both Usher and Justin were supposedly involved. If these allegations are true, it raises serious concerns about what was happening behind the scenes and just how much power Diddy had over young artists like them. There's also the idea that Usher may have developed a trauma bond with Diddy, which could explain why he's always so careful when talking about him. People have noticed that whenever Usher is asked about Diddy in interviews, like during his sit-down with Howard Stern, he seems hesitant, like he's holding something back. He's never openly addressed the rumors, but court documents from the Lil Rod lawsuit may have done it for him. According to the lawsuit, Diddy allegedly told someone about his intimate encounters with a rapper, an R&B singer, and Stevie J. While the rapper and singer's names were blacked out, footnotes in the documents hinted at a Philadelphia rapper tied to Nicki Minaj and an artist with a successful Vegas residency. Fans quickly speculated that the unnamed figures could be Meek Mill and Usher.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Meek Mill has recently been under fire after rumors surfaced about him being Diddy's boy toy, as mentioned in the Lil Rod lawsuit. His reaction online made it clear he wasn't happy about the accusations. Meanwhile, Jaguar Wright also weighed in during an interview with Storm Monroe, doubling down on the claims of Diddy's predatory behavior. She even went as far as calling Meek a power bottom, further fueling discussions about Diddy's influence over male artists in the industry. All of this adds more layers to the ongoing speculation about Usher's past and how young artists like him and Justin Bieber may have been exploited under Diddy's mentorship. But beyond Usher's own accounts of his time at Puffy Flavor Camp, Diddy himself once let something slip that made people raise their eyebrows. He casually mentioned that he and Usher used to share a bed when Usher was younger, brushing it off as a harmless story about eating Frosted Flakes together. Unsurprisingly, most people didn't buy it.
Over the Frosted Flakes, you know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented, you know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because
Usher's habit of brushing off or defending Diddy's actions might not be as simple as loyalty. It could be the result of deeper psychological effects from past experiences. It's a pattern seen before, especially when people have been through something traumatic. As for Usher, he was just a young teenager when he was placed under Diddy's mentorship after signing with LaFace Records. On the surface, it probably seemed like a golden opportunity, but looking back, people are questioning whether there was more going on behind the scenes.
In my opinion, one of the ones that affects me the most is Justin Bieber.
Do you have the Kevin Hart one?
Which is odd, Pat, because he gets caught saying that he would wake up next to him and then he changes it and says we would fight off over the Frosted Flakes. Even Kevin Hart is uncomfortable because you're admitting that you were sleeping next to a freaking child. And it's like, I'm tired of hearing all these stories and people just laugh about it. We giggle like, this is it right here.
that's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause.
Look,
like,
pause.
I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was
10 years
a little
old.
bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted
He'd wake up
Flakes.
to Usher.
He used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest songs in the world. And
What the Puff just said? Nobody's going to acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid.
With everything that allegedly went down at Puffy Flavor Camp, it's no surprise Usher wouldn't want his own child anywhere near it. When he first moved to New York at just 14 years old, he was supposed to be under Diddy's guidance as a mentor. But in that same Kevin Hart interview, Diddy made a comment that raised eyebrows, suggesting that his house wasn't just a place for mentorship, but something else entirely.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I ain't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
Usher has always been careful with his words, but he has admitted that some questionable things happened while he was living under Diddy's roof. And if you read between the lines, you can tell there was some tension even years later, especially when Usher landed on the cover of Essence magazine.
Longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
What
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
During that interview, he talked about his future in movies, music, and business, keeping things professional. He made it clear that he was focused on building his brand, saying he wanted to follow the footsteps of people like Martha Stewart, Russell Simmons, and 50 Cent, who all turned their names into empires. But when the topic shifted to his time with Diddy, Usher's whole vibe changed. Instead of giving details, he brushed it off, saying he wanted to save some stories for his book. He did hint at a lot of drama, but made sure to point out that his parents had no idea what was really going on back then.
He's
in the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
So what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. That's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more updates. Stay tuned.